Welcome, my name is Master Sergeant Lonefors. I will be joined by Sergeant Lubas, Sergeant Neil and Sergeant Moore. We came today to talk about the pros and cons of joining the military. We will cover a wide range of subjects and we're happy to answer any questions you may have at the end of this presentation. I will start talking about technical learning and career progression. Almost every job in every branch of service requires technical training of some sort. Some of you are more apt than others for this type of training, and the ASVAB score is a good indication on what job you can qualify for. Your recruiter will go over occupations that are open to you upon completion of that test. But it is important to know that you're not stuck with a job that for the rest of your military career that you're not satisfied with. There are possibilities to be retrained to another specialty, and it is not uncommon to do so. You will also receive extensive training in leadership. Those skills are directly applicable and highly sought after in the civilian sector. Furthermore, all the branches have commissioning programs for those that seek even more responsibilities. In addition to the technical training of a specialty, you will also receive training in many other areas that will broaden your horizons. All the things I just mentioned are great benefits. However, there are a few downsides as well that I would like to talk about. First of all, military training is rigorous. Have no doubt about it. The training is often compressed, so a lot of discipline and studying is required to keep up. For you who would like to be a commissioned officer, remember the selection rate is very low and a bachelor's degree is also required. The vast majority of you that join the military out of high school will progress through the enlisted ranks. Some branches promote significantly faster than others, so if that is of great importance to you, make sure you do your due diligence. To sum up what I have been covering, there is a good chance you will receive technical training while in the military. Expect breakneck speed during that training and to work hard while in school. But the rewards can be great with skills that transfer straight into a well-paid civilian job. That concludes my portion of this briefing. I would like to introduce Sergeant Lubas. He will talk about deployments and overseas tours. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Sergeant Lubas, and the aspect of military life that I'm going to discuss with you is travel. Specifically, overseas tours, remote tours, unaccompanied tours, and deployments. As you may well know, traveling is a major component of life for the vast majority of military members, and it is important for you to be as informed as possible before making the significant life choice to join. Let's talk first about overseas tours. I myself spent 4 years in Germany, which is just one of the many locations that one can be assigned to overseas. I found it to be a unique opportunity to see a different part of the world and experience a new culture firsthand. I took German in high school actually, but I learned more while living there than I did through my textbooks. And although my time overseas was enjoyable, I did experience a couple of drawbacks. One was that the exchange rate did not favor the US dollar, and a night on the town or a road trip could get quite expensive. Another drawback one must really be aware of is you must know the laws of your host country. For example, in Germany, it is illegal for your vehicle to run out of gas on the Autobahn, and it will be towed and impounded at your expense. Let's move on to unaccompanied and remote tours. The main difference between the two are unaccompanied tours are where you elect for your dependents not to accompany you on your overseas tour. This choice is made for numerous reasons, one being your dependents are finishing school where they're at and they're better off staying. Remote tours do not give you that option. You will be unaccompanied. The obvious issue that people have with these tours is the separation from family for an extended period of time. You and your family can, however, make the best of things while you are away. With today's technology, face-to-face communication is possible from anywhere in the world. And if you are on a remote tour, you have the opportunity to choose your next location for you and your family. And now for deployments. Your individual results may vary based on your job and location, but many who have deployed have shared in the same hardships.
Thank you, Sergeant Lupus, for sharing your knowledge about deployments, remotes, and unaccompanied overseas tours. That was a great surplus of information for those that like to travel. The military offers medical benefits, competitive pay, and the GI Bill and tuition assistance. If getting paid while pursuing a college degree or being provided assistance for future tuition, books, as well as living expenses, once separated from the military and be provided health care without worries sounds appealing, the following segment will be especially useful. Although medical benefits, military pay, GI Bill, and tuition assistance can be complicated, the speech will explore various aspects of these topics. Medical benefits are available for active duty members regardless of their location. Also, depending on the insurance coverage option the active duty member chooses to determine the amount of which the dependents are covered. In order to prevent having to pay for medical expenses personally, it is always a good idea to check the benefits of one's policy prior to traveling. While the paycheck at the beginning of one's military service is small, all needs are provided for, which may give the illusion of having a significant amount of spending money. The enlisted member receives a pay increase every 2 years that he or she remains the same rank. Increasing in rank results in increase of pay, as well as ensures the right to remain in the military. Remember, though, to whom much is given, much is required. It is the responsibility of the member to make sure the pay received is accurate. Once a debt has been accrued, the military has the right to withhold money from the person's paycheck, sometimes resulting in such low pay that the time period that it may be difficult to pay the bills that you have for the month. GI Bill and tuition assistance, TA, are both ways the military assists active duty members or veterans achieve post-secondary education. TA assists both active duty and reserve members $45,000 towards a year's tuition of college courses. TA may not cover the entire cost, but will cover the majority. Taking basic classes along with classes required to maintain certification with one's career field can allow a CCAF degree very quickly. If, however, the person fails or drops a class, the tuition assistance will be revoked and the member will be required to pay the cost with the one he or she own funds. The educational benefit give military members and their families great avenues for becoming successful. GI Bill has several helpful uses and each person will have to determine what will be most beneficial to him or her. Saving GI Bill for after separating will allow the veteran to receive tuition assistance, help with the cost of the books, housing assistance, and pay for subsistence. Although most costs may still be incurred, the amount of personal funds for those expenses will be drastically reduced. As with tuition assistance, successful completion of courses is required in order to maintain the privilege of assistance. The GI Bill can be transferred to a dependent, but this means there will be none for the veteran. A final option is for the veteran to use part of their GI Bill and give the rest to a dependent. Since there are limited funds, there will be a limited amount each member is authorized to receive. The information about medical benefits, military pay, the GI Bill, and tuition assistance is extensive. Although many aspects of the military benefits have been discussed in the speech just given, this information is not all inclusive. Comprehensive and up-to-date information is available through organizations such as Veteran Affairs. Also, links that are helpful online sites are available upon request. Now I would like to allow Sergeant Moore to share her knowledge about space-age travel and retirement benefits.
Thank you, Sergeant Neal, for your information on medical benefits, pay, tuition assistance, and the GI Bill benefits. I'm Sergeant Moore, and I will be talking to you about the military's recreation program, space available travel, standard of living, and retirement opportunities. No matter where you're stationed, Morale, Welfare, and Recreation, also known as MWR, offers opportunities to active duty retirees and their families. MWR has a lot of recreational equipment that you can rent at a reasonable price. They also have trips that bring you to see the most desired places in that region at a discount price. They offer party supplies such as large grills and bouncy castles, water recreation equipment if you are in an area that has a lake or ocean, and individual equipment such as snowboards and skis for those in mountainous regions. However, most of these activities are only cheaper if you're going by yourself or just one other person. Once you have a family with children, it is often cheaper to drive yourself rather than purchase one of their trips. Space Available is a free flight where there is extra space on an already scheduled aircraft. Any military member may sign up for a flight. This is a cheap way to see the world, or maybe even a cheap way to get back to see family. Like all things free, it is not reliable. Flights get canceled and rerouted. You can burn a lot of leave waiting for a Space Available flight. It is recommended by military.com that you save a sufficient amount of money to cover a flight in case your Space Available flight is full or canceled. They also discuss the priority system to Space Available flights. This is not a first come first serve. There are 5 categories that members and their families may fall into and are sorted accordingly. There are different standards of living of each of the services. However, the standard of living is only a standard. Some areas have really nice housing, dorms, and off-base homes available. Some places leave a lot to be desired. Getting stationed overseas in other parts of the world